Alumni Association. We've seen in recent years a systematic defunding of public K-12 education by Republican and or conservative legislatures all the way up through the DeVos administration. Is this consonant with your views? Is this consonant with your views of conservatism? And if so, and I'm not trying to catch you, I really want to know the answer. If so, how can conservatism be a party of education and thus ideas?
Who's that to?
Okay.
I'll do it. First, I'm not quite sure you're right that there's been a defunding of education. We still spend enormous sums. But let me give you a potted history of this argument and where conservatives come down. After the Second World War, when the baby boom generation began going through the public schools like a pig through a python, everyone was agreed, liberals, conservatives, everyone agreed that the best predictor of a school's performance is the amount of money you spent on it. Increased financial inputs, cognitive outputs would increase, and we did. Everything got better except test scores. So in the 1960s, in the biggest social science project in American history, James Coleman of Johns Hopkins studied K through 12 education, produced the Coleman Report. The results were so seismic, in Pat Moynihan's phrase, that the Johnson administration released the Coleman Report on the Friday of a 4th of July weekend, hoping no one would notice. What Coleman said was, Pat came back here to Harvard, and he was in the Harvard Faculty Club when Seymour Martin Lipset, a friend of his, came up and said, "Pat, have you heard what Coleman's found? It's all families." That is, 90% of the differences in schools' performance could be explained by quantity and quality of reading matter in the home, the amount of homework done in the home, amount of television watched in the home, number of days missed from school. But most of all, don't tell me, said Coleman, the pupil-teacher ratio, tell me the parent-pupil ratio. That you can predict. The sovereign predictor of a school's performance is the quality of the families from which the children come to school. This happened the Coleman Report, I think, was 66. The Moynihan Report was a year earlier, where he said we have a crisis in the African American family because 23.7% of African American children are born to unmarried mothers. It's 72% today. A majority of American mothers under 30, a majority, are not living with the fathers of their children. We know the consequences for schools. And you can throw all the money you want at schools, won't make a particle of difference until we deal with or find some way to cope with family disintegration.
I agree.
I would